35192. Want to send a text. If you'd like to watch the live stream, you can do it at alancoxshow.com. Thank you so much to Burker Snurplick, who's helping out back there in the video department. Appreciate it.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Oh, no. Don't want that.
Yeah, we know, lady.
Tell me something I already know. There's going to be you want to drop a tease for the new Poundcake podcast?
Yeah, it's going to be Logan Paul's piggish ways.
Elaborate.
So he had this pet pig, and it went viral on TikTok because he was taking pictures with it. But turns out, I didn't know this. I guess I don't have my hand on the pulse of culture like I thought I did. I didn't know Logan Paul just up and moved to Puerto Rico. He has like this huge compound in Puerto Rico, and he did not take the pig with him and left it at a farm. And the farm, I guess, did away with it, and it went viral that his pig is now, left and abandoned and had to be rescued. And so I'm doing an entire podcast on that, on who I think is full of it in this entire topic, because he's going on pretty much an apology tour saying, this isn't me, PETA's after him. But yeah.
Well, he's on a couple of apology tours.
He is? What's that?
Well, because he had some crypto nonsense he was into too, and trying to get people to
that. All of them are.
I know, but when the whole thing bottoms out, you got to go, "Oh, sorry, you kind of got to do this weird about face where you're trying to don't want to distance yourself too much from it, but still make it look like you were paying attention.
And as much as I would like to lay into the Paul brothers, I do have somewhat respect for them because they have talent and they have drive and they, made stars of themselves. That being said, I almost feel like I have to defend him because I watched a recent comedy tour or comedy show of Chelsea Handler, and she was talking about how if you rescue dogs in California, if you want to buy a dog, PETA will come after you because there's so many in rescue that they kind of expect.
You mean buy one from a store? Adopt, don't shop is what they want people to do.
Yeah,
right?
and like that, you will get harassed. Like, I can't believe you would buy a dog. I can't believe you would do something like that when there's plenty of dogs that are in shelter that need to be rescued.
I think that's the case if you're a famous person like Chelsea Handler. If you go buy a dog or I go buy a dog, PETA's not going to care.
Okay, well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I take, for Logan Paul, I do think he probably wanted the pig, and maybe Puerto Rico has some law where I know it's U.S. still.
Well,
but
from what I understand, he bought it because he thought it was going to be like a teacup pig and stay small, but it's
a big potbelly pig.
Yeah, it's a big old fat pig, and then he just was...
He said he laid with it, he was cuddling with it, and...
He passed it off on that farm, and they didn't take care of it, and...
Yeah, it's huge.
I think people are trying to...
But they're trying
put this on him when it was like he gave it to a place that he thought it would be okay, and then they kind of turned it loose and
that's what I'm saying.
And
they took it as an opportunity to make him look bad, and that's why I feel like I have to defend him because
you don't have to defend him though.
But I'm
who else, Bill, if not Poundcake?
Right.
But I'm going to because Justin Bieber did away with his monkey, and no one said anything about that.
I just wish people would do a cursory Google search. There's practically nothing that's unknowable these days, right? How big will this animal get? Because over the pandemic, animal rescues are flooded with animals that people got over the pandemic. If they thought it was end of times and they were holed up in their house and needed a companion, so all these people adopted animals, and then it's all over and they go, nah, I don't want to take care of this anymore. And so these rescues are flooded with animals because people were like, nah.
But I honestly don't think it was that. He has the money.
Not in that case. I'm just saying, to me, that's kind of the same thing as people going, I didn't know this cute little animal was going to become huge. Anytime I see somebody with a really cute dog, I go, how big does that dog get? And some people go, it gets really big. And other people go, this is as big as it's getting. I go, oh, okay. It's not hard to do a little bit of research. These people who are amazed that this animal got huge.
Yeah, I mean, he has enough money. He had a huge mansion with a lot of property in Encino. I think he bought it from like Machine Gun Kelly or vice versa. Someone bought it from him, and he had this big property. and the pig had enough room to run around. I think it was when he moved to Puerto Rico. I don't know what law they have about imports or something like that. He could not. I don't think he could take the pig with him. I think that's what it was.
Livestock in
Yeah,
your
customs.
country.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so
Didn't they get you for bringing coffee back or something like
but
that?
that was
Like,
Jamaica, not Puerto Rico.
I
Puerto
guess
Rico,
it is still America.
Yeah, you don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. That's why I'm gonna still look.
No, but they do.
research.
But they probably have a customs situation
But
because
you
you're
can't-
it's his pet though.
you're leaving the mainland and going. No, I understand.
So it's but so I don't understand. I have to look into
Again,
it.
these are things that people can easily look into
But I don't think
before
he
they
moves
go
and moves.
fly off somewhere with an animal and get to an airport.
I was gonna say because if it was a dog, he wouldn't leave a dog, would he? He would. You can't.
Might.
You can't. No, you can take your cats or your pets with you. There's people that travel to Puerto Rico all the time, and
Maybe it's got different rules for livestock.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's what my podcast is on. So I'll dive more into it. But I just thought that was odd, and they played that TikTok with like the arms of the angel music, trying to make it look extra sad. I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, that is a sad animal song.
It is very sad. You got to give him that.
But what rescue agency makes a TikTok about and they didn't name him in it either. They said he was abandoned by some famous YouTuber. I'm like, y'all are so petty. Why you're not caring about the pig? You're just
Well, it
trying
would
to
have been
make
more
him look
petty
bad.
if they had blown him up by name.
But you didn't have to say famous YouTuber at all. You say this pig is abandoned. It was almost about to be bacon until we rescued it.
Yeah, well.
Then everyone would say, "Oh wow."
Might still be bacon if nobody adopts it.
Whatever.
Are you aching? Yup.
I
Oh,
texted.
bacon. Yup.
I texted my friend out in L.A. I'm like, "Are you guys just him and his wife?" I go, "Are you guys okay with all this rain?" I don't know that it's gotten to them yet because they're south. They're in L.A. This rain that's going through. It's going to be a lot of rich people getting flooded out of their houses, which I think makes people feel less worse. Do you see the Ellen
made
DeGeneres
yes,
video?
Ellen made a video about it.
I'll play this for you if you're watching the live stream. Ellen put a video on Montecito, which is in Santa Barbara County, which is a very wealthy area. It's like her, it's
Oprah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, it's Oprah. I mean, last couple of years, they've had a bunch of mudslides there. Jeff Bridges, I think, was Oprah's neighbor, and his house got washed away. But a lot of very, very wealthy people live out there, and she posted a video near her house because they were either shelter in place if you couldn't evacuate, but Montecito was under mandatory evacuation. And so Ellen DeGeneres posted a photo of what is normally a dry creek bed that is in her backyard.
So, Montecito is under complete evacuation, the entire town. This is a 5-year anniversary from the fire and mudslides that killed so many people, and people lost their homes, their lives. This is crazy on the 5-year anniversary. We are having unprecedented rain. This creek next to our house.
Anyway, it's pretty wild.
Why is she standing that close? That is such white people stuff. I would never, ever be that close to a mudslide. Ever.
I think she knows where.
Also, if
I
you
mean,
have
that's-
that kind of money, you'd think it would sound better. Production quality is garbage.
she's just shooting on
Alan.
her phone like anybody else.
Rich people evacuate by helicopter. Like, I'm sure there's like helicopter hovering over her house, and she just gets on a ladder, and they pull her up, and
You
she's
think
like,
like the Joker at the end of Batman?
Yeah.
They
ridiculous.
throw down a rope ladder and
when you got water like that, like how do you drive around it? Like there's no roads. I'm sure it's like not safe. Prince Harry and Meghan are out there.
Right, but you
think.
think they throw down a rope ladder?
Whatever. I just imagine they're, they get on.
Let's hear this helicopter sound effect. This is a new one.
he killed it. That is, I mean, it is, say what you want about it, it is a helicopter noise. It's not him going, helicopter's coming in.
Or is it a pop, 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 pop? Ah, okay.
Hey, where's Ellen's house? Does she, you want me to pick you up down there?
You're saying Alan or Ellen?
Or Ellen Cox.
Alan Cox. Yeah.
Is he around?
Nah.
Alan DeGeneres. Am I
She
messing
moved out of
things
here a
up,
long
or-
time ago.
Oh.
They both look
thank
alike.
you.
They both look like 50-year-old
Same
lesbians.
hair.
Ah, you
Thank you.
son of a bitch. Yeah, there's a lot of rich people out there in Montecito.
I mean,
Mandatory evacuation. Gwyneth Paltrow lives out there. She did a thing about how She used to do a lot of coke in the 90s.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
She's like, well, back then there were no camera phones.
Yeah, why
You
not?
could go home with a rando. You could do cocaine. Nobody was taking a picture of you.
Imagine
It was
that's your
great.
explanation. You did coke in the 90s? Yeah, there was no cell phones.
Yes,
Why would
of
I not do any
course.
coke?
It was.
I wasn't going to get in trouble.
It was a beautiful time before everyone was filming every goddamn thing that crosses their face.
Who was it that
It was
just got...
so fun.
Someone just got busted because they...
Dana White.
Well, he was slapping people, but like there was somebody that they had lines on their coffee table or something. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a girl.
Don't know.
like in an Instagram video and
Yeah.
like it's just in the background.
Yeah, it was like just like they like panned over and then you see like lines and you're like, oh. And they're like, oh no, it wasn't what you think it was. I'm
There's
like,
a
yeah, it
pixie
was.
sticks.
Yeah, it
Vitamin
was.
C. I like to chop my vitamin C up.
What's wrong? Just own up to it. I would be like, you're cool.
At least Cameron Diaz owned it. She was like, she didn't say coke. She said I used to buy pot off of Snoop Dogg, but still, she owned that she was a little stoner back then.
Yeah, pot's different though.
There's an interesting development that I see in journalism recently where they refer to people who I think have clearly killed themselves as suddenly dying. And I wonder if that's deference to the family or because the headlines, especially in the wake of COVID, where whatever you think about what that is or what it did to people's bodies, it obviously has lingering effects. And you have people who maybe had undiagnosed things, particularly with the heart. You look what just happened to DeMar. What's the football player?
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. That was extenuating circumstance. Obviously, he got hit at the exact wrong time at the caused a thing with his heart. But again, expanding it out to people who have died young, high-profile people who die young. This person died, and they'll go, they had an undiagnosed heart thing. But you see more and more of these articles where they refer to someone as suddenly dying. And it seems pretty clear that they killed themselves because the quote is, I was reading about this guy, this reporter of the New York Times who just started there a couple of years ago. It was a big deal. This guy named Blake Honchel. Big deal. And the quote is, he died after a long and courageous battle with depression.
Oh.
Which I infer means he committed suicide. But and you see
Yeah.
that more and more and more where the headline is, suddenly dies.
Well, it is pretty, well, depending on how you do it, it's not sudden. Sleeping pills take a few hours.
Well, but you know what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Trying to make light of your suicide talk here.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
The thing is, there's a morbid curiosity when everyone hears that someone dies. Okay, let me go back. I won't say everyone.
Mhm.
When I hear that someone dies, I immediately think how. That's my first question.
Yes.
And when it is something a little touchier or maybe the family doesn't want to share, they usually don't release any details. So I think you're on the right path with them kind of giving you like a nudge.
Yeah. I was also reading that I didn't realize that Jeff Bezos' ex-wife had already remarried and is getting re-divorced. Mackenzie Scott.
That was quick.
This is
It's
a woman
her.
who...
She's the
Years?
problem.
Well, I guess I was thinking that they just got divorced, but they've been divorced now for like 3-4 years, whatever. But, and she gave like $10 million to the Cleveland Food Bank or something. You know, she
was giving away all
It's a
that money.
food bank. She's so dumb. Giving them money when they need food. Pay attention.
guys, I'd like to donate some mini muffins. Could I do that here?
Yeah, that's
Could I
what
make a withdrawal of some
you guys have an ATM here?
snacks? She got $37 billion from Jeff Bezos.
It still
And
wasn't enough.
she
a snack
said,
ATM is a vending machine. Real quick. But go ahead.
she said, I'm going to give half that to charity. And so she's been writing tons of checks. But she got married to a high school teacher. And they're already getting divorced. A little over a year. So you got to think when
Was
this
it
guy...
that teacher from Medina?
No, no.
Extenuating circumstances.
No.
Yeah.
What do they say? Irreconcilable differences?
Not even that, but I'm like, I wonder, this guy must have thought he hit the goddamn lottery when he starts dating and then subsequently marries Mackenzie Scott, who was Bezos' wife. They were married for like 30 years or something, 20 years. And, who knows? He probably found her on Raya or I don't know what. And they start
How
dating.
is he on Raya, though?
I don't know what he does. He's a high school teacher.
Yeah, but if
He
you're a high
could
school
be-
teacher, you're not getting on Raya.
I don't know that. And then you go, oh, this is going to be great. She's awesome. I don't care that she has giant teeth. She's a billionaire many times over. And then at some point, you go, this ain't working out. Married for about a year and a half. Because are you going to get something from her? Are you going to?
She made him sign the biggest prenup.
Right. But I would think that if you're going to marry somebody, you go, of course, I'll sign this prenup, but there might be something in it for me.
Maybe she'll write him a check.
And he's a goofy, she has a type, bald dudes. But
supposedly bald dudes are really good in bed.
Yeah, bald guys say that.
Well, they say they lose their hair because of all the testosterone.
Yeah, bald guys say that.
I've never been with a bald dude. I don't know, but
I've been with one, and he has pretty good.
Well, again,
You're not counting
I
yourself.
don't think.
are you?
I don't think one has anything to do with the other.
Ouch. Ouch. I'm not bald anymore.
No, he's got hair. Look at him.
I know,
Look at him there.
Leave my
fluffy.
toupee alone.
He's all fluffy. Young man. He's chasing his. Who is it? You guys into Sheng Wang at all? Paying attention to him?
No.
He's funny. He's talking about.
I heard he's funny. I just
We're
haven't
talking about
checked it out.
balding. It's not balding. It's that you get more facial real estate. That you really be able to maximize your emotions with people. And yeah, so whatever property these two people have, they signed their contract or whatever. Bezos had already moved on because the reason they got divorced is because he was fooling around with somebody. But you got to think that, man, this guy moves on, and he's like, I guess I'll go back to teaching high school now that I've got $20 million. Because if she has $37 billion, and I don't know how much she's given away, but she could never give away all her money. So you got to think the guy's like, I'm going to walk away with something. More money than I would ever make as a high school teacher. He's a chemistry teacher at her kid's private school.
Oh, that's how she met him then.
That's how not deep she was going into the dating pool. She's like, it's just a guy at my kid's school. And we hit it off.
But now her kid's in college, so she's like, I got to move up. I want a professor.
He had to pretend like he wasn't impressed with all of her largesse. He had to just treat her like a regular person. That's what she fell in love with. I assume, he just treated me like a regular person. He didn't treat me as the ex-wife of one of the richest men on the planet. He just treated me like a regular gal.
Do you think,
Must have been all the testosterone in his body.
Do you think they were using Amazon, though? Or do you think that's a no-no?
That's a no-no. There's a comic who had
You
that
kind of
joke.
can't get around it.
I mean, a lot of people did, but they were like, what's her first name?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. Can you imagine being Mackenzie and, you got all the billions of dollars and no Amazon Prime? It's like, he obviously took that away from her, right? Like,
He took the Amazon. No,
Listen,
he doesn't
you
care who's
can't
paying
use
for Amazon
my-
Prime.
You can't, or she doesn't want to use it out of principle.
Maybe not. I mean, he was having an affair. That's why he's got no reason to be mad at her,
Right.
other than kicking out almost $40 billion to her. Next chance for you to grab some money, by the way, it's $1,000, a mere fraction of Mackenzie Scott's income, but whatever. It's good for us. It's a grand 6:30 is going to be the next keyword. Cavaliers will play tonight. That's a 9 o'clock tip-off in Salt Lake City against the Jazz. And we'll take a break, come back, wrap everything up.
It's the Alan Cox Show.